Well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Tea Time with Mr. T. Now, as you can see, I have my festive Halloween teacup. And what we do with our teacup is we hold it up, we put our pinkies up because it's so very fancy, and we are so very fancy, and we come in for the clink. All right. So, boys and girls, I have quite a story for you because it is getting close, very close to Halloween. Granny? Granny, where are you going? There's a vampire. Did she say vampire? Come on. You don't believe that, do you? And by the way, boys and girls, do you remember George, the stuffed gorilla? Say hi, George. Hello, boys and girls. There he goes. There's George. Good buddy. He loves these stories. He's ready for the wonderful one we have today. Red. Wait. I can't stay, Mr. T. There's a vampire. Something has everybody kind of on edge, don't they? Well, I wonder what's going on around here. Well, anyways, the story that I have for you today is called Dogzilla. And this is by Dave Pilkey, the same gentleman who wrote our Halloweener story that we read just a little bit ago. Bigsby Wolf, what are you here to enjoy the story? No, there's a vampire. What? Wait, but you're Bigsby Wolf. You're afraid of a vampire? Yeah. Okay, somebody must be playing some kind of prank on us. Is everyone saying there's a vampire? Vampires aren't real, right? Right? Okay, well, let's read Dogzilla. What do you guys say? Come on over here. Dogzilla. Written and directed by Dave Pilkey. Starring Flash as the Big Cheese, Rabies as Professor Scarlet O'Hare, special appearance by Dwayne the Soldier Guy, and Leah as the Monster. It was summertime in the city of Mouseopolis, and mice from all corners of the community had come together to compete in the first annual barbecue cook-off. As the cook-off got underway, smoke from the hot grills lifted the irresistible scent of barbecue sauce all over the rooftops of the city. A gentle wind carried the mouth-watering smell into the distance, right over the top of an ancient crater. Before long, a strange and mysterious sound was heard. All at once, the volcano began to tremble. And suddenly, up from the very depths of the earth came the most terrifying creature ever known to mousekind, the dreadful Dogzilla. Immediately, the soldiers were sent out to stop the mighty beast. The heroic troops were led by their brave commanding officer, the Big Cheese. "All right, you old fleabag," squeaked the Big Cheese. "Get those paws in the air. You're coming with us." Without warning, the monstrous mutt breathed her horrible breath onto the mice. "Doggy breath!" screamed the soldiers. "Run for your lives!" "Hey, come back here!" shouted the Big Cheese to his troops. "What are you, men or mice?" "We're mice," they squeaked. Said the Big Cheese. "You're right. Wait for me." The colossal canine followed the soldiers back to Mouseopolis, licking up all the food in her path. Afterward, Dogzilla wandered through the city streets, doing the things that come naturally to dogs. Dogzilla chased cars right off the freeway. Dogzilla chewed furniture and the furniture store as well. And Dogzilla dug up bones at the Museum of Natural History. Meanwhile, the Big Cheese had organized an emergency meeting with one of the city's greatest scientific minds, Professor Scarlet O'Hare. "Gentle mice," said Professor O'Hare, "this monster comes from prehistoric times. It is perhaps millions of years old. Maybe we could teach it to do something positive for the community," suggested the Big Cheese. I'm afraid not, said Professor O'Harry. You simply can't teach an old dog new tricks. If we're going to defeat this dog, we've got to think like a dog. We've got to find something that all dogs are afraid of, something that will scare this beast away from Mouseopolis forever. I've got an idea, squeaked the big cheese. Within minutes, the mice had assembled at the center of town. All right, Dogzilla, shouted the big cheese. No more Mr. Mice Guy. It's bath time. Suddenly, a blast of warm, sudsy water hit Dogzilla with tremendous force. The panicking Pooch let out a burst of hot, fiery breath, and the chase was on. The big cheese tried to catch up to the hot dog with all the relish he could muster. Dogzilla hightailed it out of town and back into the mouth of the ancient volcano. Well, I'll be doggone, squeaked the big cheese. It worked. With the horrifying memory of the bubble bath etched in her mind forever, Dogzilla never again returned to Mouseopolis. Within a year, Mouseopolis had rebuilt itself, just in time for the second annual barbecue cook-off. The mice of Mouseopolis fired up their grills, confident that they would never see or hear from Dogzilla again. However, there was one thing they hadn't counted on. Puppies. All right. So, boys and girls, what did you think of Dogzilla? Now, you got to ask yourself, after reading a story, who were the characters? What was the setting of this story? Right? And what happened at the beginning of the story? What happened in the middle of the story? And what about the end of the story? What happened then? Blah, 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 blah. What the? It is me, Mrs. Duck, or I mean, Mrs. Count Duckula. Mrs. Count Duckula. What have you done? Has that been you scaring everybody? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm a vampire. Blah, blah, blah. Mrs. Duck, come on. Our friends, they're scared. You can't go around scaring people. But it's Halloween, Mr. T. All right, but you better tell them that it's all just pretend, okay? Because they were very frightened. Red and Granny and Bisbee, but they might never come back from the forest, and we like them. We want them to come back. Bleh. Okay, Mr. T, I will. After I finish chasing them through Halloween. Bleh, bleh. Goodbye, boys and girls. Bleh, bleh. See you later. Bleh, bleh. Bye-bye. Bleh, bleh. It was Mrs. Duck. I should have known. But, boys and girls, thank you for joining us for Tea Time with Mr. T. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, cups up, pinkies up, because we are so very fancy, and we come in for the clink. Bye-bye. See you next time.